Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Today, I want to talk about choice. Now, choice, what is choice? I always tell people that I like the gift of choice. So, as a king, I'm not going to take choice from people. Even though I understand there are certain things that people will have to do that is mandatory, and there are certain things that people will have to choose to do. Now, let's say for a job, you have a job. When you go to work, you know you have to do your job. That's mandatory. Then you also have choice to choose to do things that uphold your value you want to do or you don't want to do. If your job wanted you to do some fuck shit, give a bad broadcast you don't want to do, you have to stand on your choice. Sometimes might be losing your job, but at the end of the day, you stood for your choice, your decision. Now, what is choice, right? It's right. I don't understand the definition of the choice, but I will put a Webster definition up there. But for my point, choice is making your own sound decision. It's making your own decision of what you want to do, because that is what you want to do, not because of something else, not because someone forces you or someone entices you or someone lures you, but because this is what you want to do. And a good example of choice is love. Love, true love, is always made of choice, free will choice. It's called free will. Choice is a free will, where you do it because of your free will, because that's what you want to do. You willingly do it. So, true example of choice is love. People fall in love with people that they freely, without nobody forcing them to. If it's forced, then it is not love. You feel me? It is light because it's fake, it's pretend, it's not true love, it's fake love because you're doing it because of A, B, and C, not because you love this person because you want to. You're doing it because you feel like you have no other option, or you want to get something out of it, or you're running from something. A lot of people run away from love because they're scared. So they make a choice thinking that they're getting better results, but really they're really hurting their heart because they're missing out on the person that they truly love. Okay. Now, where does this love come from? From the choice. God loved the world that he gave every man choice. Even from the time of Adam and Eve, the creation of the world, even to the angels. He gave so much choice that you hear about the famous story of Iblis. You say Iblis in a Muslim, or you say Satan or Lucifer in the gospel, or you say or what you call Christianity faith or Jewish faith. You feel me? You say Iblis or Satan or Lucifer. Where Lucifer had a choice, where Lucifer chose to turn 1/3 of the angels against God. And Satan chose to disobey God because he chose it freely. And you have what they call Iblis, who is Satan, Lucifer, Satan. Where Satan chose not to prostrate himself towards Adam and Eve when God told him to bow, told all the angels to bow down to Adam. So it's choice. Now, like I said, to understand choice, you have to go to the beginning of creation, when things were created, right? God created everything, good and evil. Understand? That's why God said in the book of Genesis 2, he created everything. He created a tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, what is the definition of knowledge? See that right? You see that right there? The definition of knowledge. Now, what's the definition of understanding? It's right there. You bet? Okay, now what's the definition of wisdom? You see it right there. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge is the ability to know things through experience. Understand? To learn things, the learning capability to learn. Understand? Now, what is understanding? Understanding is the ability to comprehend. As you see right there, it's to comprehend. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to make good, sound decisions. Do you understand me? So, God said in the beginning right here in the Bible, Proverbs,
By wisdom the Lord founded the earth. By understanding he created the heavens. By his knowledge the deep fountains of the earth burst forth, and the dew settles beneath the night sky.
in the book of Proverbs, that he formed the world out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So we are made in the image of God. Even the angels are made in the image of God in spiritual being. We are made in the image of God physically. Do you understand that? And everything, even animals use knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because a lion or a tiger would knowledgeably, wisdom, understandingly, and wisely strategize the attack when they're hungry and when they're on the hunt. And you see a serpent will also strategize the attack when they want to strike or kill something. Feel me? Everything uses knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Do you understand? Everything created from the biggest thing to the smallest thing. Our knowledge and wisdom understanding is different due to the circumstances. Everybody uses knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Even a fool uses knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It might be foolish, but he still uses his knowledge, wisdom, understanding to what he has acquired. Everybody's knowledge and wisdom understanding is based on what they've experienced, their experience, or what they learned, or what they know, or what they've studied, or what they gained. It's gain knowledge. Earn or gain experience, gain knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You gain this as you walk through life, as you learn things through life. Now, as I go back to the beginning, God created the Garden of Eden and put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. This is before he told Iblis or Satan to bow down to Adam and Eve. He created them. Understand? He created them. And when Adam and Eve were created, they weren't created as children. Do you understand? They were created full grown. As I am right now, I'm a full grown man. Understand? So Adam and Eve were created to be in their 40s or their 50s, 30s, their 40s, their 50s, full grown man. But in their mind state, in their mind, they were children. They were grown physically, but mentally, emotionally, everything else, they were babies. They were children. They had to learn. That's why God kept them in the garden to teach them. And he taught man in the beginning, to see right here, where he said,
God formed from the ground all the wild animals and all the birds of the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would call them, and the man chose a name for each one.
They named the animals. You feel me? And man began to name the animals with the knowledge that God has gave him. But when God created him, man's eyes wasn't open to the physical things, to the things of good and evil. He was open to the Spirit of God. As children were pure and sensed the Spirit of God. Their eyes are open to the Spirit of God, but not to the physical.
Now the man and his wife were both naked, but they felt no shame.
That's why when a child is born, it takes a child a couple of years before their eye they start seeing the physical things, but they see the spiritual things. Do you understand me? Now, with that said, now God gave Adam and Eve choice. From the beginning, training them, teaching them. Understand? Teaching them about choice. From the beginning, he planted a tree of good and evil. You understand? Good and evil. And he planted a tree of life. And he had a tree of spirit. And then now, with his good and evil, that's how choice came about. Because if you look at Thessalonians right here,
But test everything that is said. Hold on to what is good. Stay away from every kind of evil.
the book of Thessalonians said, test everything. Take good and abstain from the evil. Understand? So, when it said test, it means compare. To compare is to use knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. When you're testing something, it's like a test in school. When they give you a test or a quiz, understand? They're testing, they're expecting you to use your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Understand? So God taught Adam and Eve for a while with him. And God knows that it will already come when they will do this. Understand? And God taught them, Adam and Eve. So when God taught Adam and Eve, he allowed them to journey in the garden. And the day came where the test will come. Understand? Everybody has a test. Just like school, just like life. Sometimes you might be doing good and the test comes. Sometimes you might be a drug addict going through rehabilitation, and then you get tested to see if you will relapse or you will overcome your test and stick to your sobriety. It's just like a man and woman. You're in a relationship with a man, or if you're a woman in a relationship with a man, or a man in a relationship with a woman, even, I don't promote homosexuality, even homosexuality. You are tested when you see other women. Are you going to cheat on your partner, your spouse? Or are you going to remain faithful? You are tested as a man. Men are always tested because they run after other women. They think what they did. And women are always tested with their loyalty. Are you going to stay with your man? Or are you going to go find somebody else? When the time comes, when that man becomes something, then you feel bad. I should have stayed with him because I really liked him. And a lot of women leave their man because they get tired and give up. They want to go through the dirt with a man. But that is the building stage that makes diamond. Because you have to go through dirt. You have to put a diamond in the dirt, a stone, or minerals in dirt to make diamonds. And people always want to skip that stage. Even with women, some men don't want to stick with their women because they attract other girls or they can't control their attraction to other girls. But they want to go to that dirt stage to make the woman what they is, because dirt makes diamonds. So we're saying that. You see this right here.
You won't die, the serpent replied to the woman. God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil.
The time came when Adam and Eve were tested. Do you understand? The serpent came. Might be a bliss or whoever came and told the serpent to come. The serpent told me that a man told them to test Adam. So they came and tested Adam and revealed to Adam knowledge of things. And you see,
The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it too.
they revealed it to Eve, which was less of Adam. Because they know to make Adam fall, they have to attack his Eve. Just like that's how they attack my girl too. Trying to make me fall, attacking my girl. But to make Adam fall, they have to seduce him by a woman. Because a man's weakness is his woman, and a woman's strength is a man. Do you understand? A man's witness is his woman. So this angel, this being, Iblis, knew this because he was higher. He has been here longer before man was created, heavens were created. Because you see in the beginning it said,
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, the account of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So the heavens was created first before the earth. And the people in heaven dined with God. The angelic hosts dined with God. Both good principalities, virtues, powers. When we say principalities, they're also angels, but they're demons. Principalities are demons. Understand? But they're also angels. They're demonic angels. Understand? Powers are also demons. Understand? They are demonic angels. But they were all created with God, and they dined with God, and they had also learned with God. So they spent a lot of years and time with God, learning with God before God created the earth. And when he had taught the angels, he said, let us create man, as you see right here.
God said, Let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground. So
let us create man in our own image, in our likeness, in the likeness of God, but flesh, not spiritual, because angels are made spiritual. They're also flesh. They could be flesh, but they're more spiritual. Understand? They're spirits that can manifest flesh. But we are flesh that has the Spirit of God, the Spirit in us, but we cannot manifest the Spirit unless we die and we resurrect to become spiritual flesh. Understand? We are fleshly spirits. Understand? I call the angels spiritual flesh because they are spirits that can manifest flesh anytime they want to and be whoever they want to, whenever they want to. But I call the earthlies, I call the earth, the people, the humans, earthly flesh because we are earth, we're flesh that cannot, the flesh, the spirit, we're flesh that cannot manifest spirit unless we die. Then we can manifest the spirit because we go to be in the spirit realm where the angels are. The angels can come to this earth, come to us, but we cannot go to them unless we die. Okay, everybody caught up. So now the reason I'm understanding. Why is choice? Choice is given for you to use knowledge, wisdom, understanding, to test things, to know, to understand things. To know things is to learn. And we learn through trial and errors, mistakes. Do you understand me? We learn through trial and error. Even like I told you, Iblis, Satan, was given a choice. When God told him to bow down to Adam in the Quran, like I'll find it.
And recall when we said to the angels, make obeisance to Adam. So they obeyed, except Iblis. He refused stubbornly and waxed proud. And he was already one of the disbelievers.
I want to show you. In the Quran, God told him to bow down to Adam. He was given a choice to either bow or rebel. But Iblis, not knowing that it was in his nature to rebel because he was an evil angel. This is what brings me to the topic of obedience and disobedience. Do you understand? Good and evil. Good is obedience to God. When you're obedient to God, you are good. But when you are disobedience, you are evil in the sight of the Lord. Understand? Evil angels are most likely disobedient angels. They disobey God. Understand? They have a trait in them that is quick to disobedience and rebellion. Good angels are obedient angels. Right? So when I say that, I bring it back to this point where that God tested Adam and Eve with the same thing he did Iblis, Satan. He tested them in obedience and disobedience. When he created the garden and put them in the garden, he told them that was a test, the law. Do you know the law tests you? Every law tests you in obedience and disobedience. Like the laws at your job, the laws at your school, the requirement, the protocols, the rules, or you could say rules or laws. The rules or laws at your school, at your job. You know what I'm saying? At your places of work. You know what I'm saying? At event center. Like if you go to a football game, they have laws there. You might not be able to eat. You might be able to buy what they have in there. You might not be able to do certain things. You might not be able to go to the game, to the stadium where they're playing the game. You have to sit in your seat. You could yell to everything in your seat. You know what I'm saying? If you're at job, you have rules and regulations of how you do your job and what is expected of you to keep your job. If you at school, you have rules and regulations of what to do in school. You can't fight in school else you get suspended. You get kicked out of school, suspension. So in the same order, God did Iblis the same way when he told him to bow down to Adam and Eve. If you say right there.
And recall when we said to the angels, make obeisance to Adam. So they obeyed, except Iblis. He refused stubbornly and waxed proud. And he was already one of the disbelievers.
When Iblis refused, God cast him out. Do you understand? God cast him out. And it would be surprising if not if Iblis came to bring down the fall of man, because that was his destiny as an evil angel. He was the one who rebelled, and God noticed. That's why God told also the angels and people in the Quran, if you see right here.
And recall when your Lord said to the angels, I am, according to my usual practice, going to appoint a supreme religious head in the land, to convey my message to human beings and to execute my will in the universe. They said, will you create also therein such people as will cause disorder in it and shed blood, while we already glorify you with your true praise and extol your holiness? He, God, answered, I know that which you do not know.
That I know not what you do not know. When they asked God, why did you create evil? God told them, I know what you did not know. It is for my purpose. Because you have to understand, when God said this statement.
And the Lord God said, look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever.
Where he said that let us kick them out of the Garden of Eden, unless they be like us.